Welcome to today's session on 40 hours job experiment. Today's topic is ESG research. And if you are new to this, so in these sessions, we are trying to find a workable 40 hours job that can be delivered to companies as a consultant or as a freelancer, for which for the people who are currently finding sustainability jobs. So this can be a structured way of keeping them moving forward in terms of their income during this challenging times. So for those of you who are seeing this for the first time, I'll just give you a quick recap on how it began. You can watch the complete video as well. So this is the step that the idea is. So you have to define your domain. So today's domain is ESG research, and then you have to design your solution. So I will work out a framework of your solution that you are providing to the consulting companies or the companies that you're working with, that you're pitching your services. The third part is doing your work. Will dig a bit deep dive today into it and deliver the outcome and draw your income. So there are 5 domains that I have defined in the last video. So today we will be focusing more on ESG research. The rest one will be in the following sessions. So the standard advantages that you can read and the income rate. So this is the big one, and I will address the value innovation part for this. This is, I think, should be the value for the work that you do to make it more practical and sustainable. Even if you do one project or one gig per month, this should be the income value. So coming back to the ESG session, so for those who don't know what ESG stands for, uh, I mean, the full form is environmental, social, and governance. And I found this particular image from one of our clients' website, and it demonstrates the different uh, pieces of environment, social, and governance. Climate change, resource depletion, waste, pollution, and deforestation. Social has human rights, child labor, employee relations, so on and so forth. Includes modern slavery, and governance has those data points. So our clients is primarily in responsible investment, but in recent times I have been speaking to consultancies who either work for companies or for investors, where the investors are interested in knowing the ESG data so that they can make their investment decision based on that data. So this consulting company helps them to find the ESG data from either CSR report or sustainability report. There are standards in each countries for companies to publicly disclose all the information. And as a consulting, they read through the PDF documents or public websites in order to get the detail. Now, each investor might be interested in some other data point. For example, for climate change, they might be interested in emission data, whereas in employee relation, they might be interested in the diversity data, be it gender diversity or otherwise. And for waste and pollution, they might be interested in the other pollutions like water pollutions, plastic pollutions, and so on. So today in the example, I will pick plastic pollution because that was the example that I gave in the as an example. But you get the idea. Like, so basically, this consulting company works for investors and they produce data of a particular sector. Today we will pick plastic repackaging waste or packaging waste, and you would work as a consultant or you work as a project to this particular consultancy. It's not UNPRI. Take it uh, any other companies. I won't name names. and let's assume the name, I mean, this consultancy is owned by Bob. So you're working for Bob, and Bob owns a consultancy which provides data for investment, and you will help Bob to collect data for plastic wastage. So that's pretty much the idea. I will walk you through step by step, but giving you a brief on what it is. So this is your work. This is a framework. Don't take it verbatim. It's not exactly how it will work, or this is how it should work. This is one of the example, and because ESG or sustainability's domain is not my skill. I come from a technical background. This is what my understanding is, and you can of course correct me if you think otherwise. So as I mentioned, you're working for Bob. So you you tell him that 50 companies plastic packaging waste data of UK companies that you are ready to give him, and then you draft him the 10 data points that you will be collecting. So the thing is that you might have to be sure that those are the data points you are interested, the unit of data, some other detailed information, the way the unit he is expecting it, and all the details that you want to work out. And then you also provide the source of the text from the evidences file. So that will be sustainability, sorry, reports that are being created as an evidence file. And then you charge him $50 per company, and because we have 50 companies, so we will charge him a total of uh, $2,500 for the weeks of work. So this will be a 5-day work. And we also give him a 1-week warranty in case he needs any modification, or if he finds any uh, uh, mismatch or some kind of a mistake. So this is a very quick demonstration of what kind of work you will be doing, especially as an ESG researcher. And you will be doing collecting data for 50 companies for 100 data points and so on and so forth. Now here is where your skills comes into play. So if you are an ESG expert, you know better what kind of data would be useful for Bob, and you are the person who is an expert in finding resources and finding it from the company website or GRI's website, or some other third party places which I don't know. So you are the best person, and you decide how you will do it in a week's time, so that you deliver it by the end of the week with all the data that is necessary, with evidences. I mentioned in my earlier post that you have to package it very nicely. So you will provide a sheet with the actual data, then you will also provide a sheet with the mapping of each company's data to the source text and the actual file for each data point if possible. You will also zip all the source file into a zip file, and you will name the files in a well structured manner, in a very professional manner, so that anyone gets that package, she or he knows exactly how to decode it. You might also write a small write up on how to use this document, which one to take, and if there are any exception, add remarks against each company or data point or in general. And that's what it will be worth $2,500 that you give it to him. So that's pretty much uh, a work that is needed, a service that is needed, and that is how you will come. Now, one of the big question that was asked in the comment in my previous video was, uh, how will I find the company? So another framework, again, this is a framework you can that you can use, and many of these services companies do that. So first of all, you will create a pitch document or a video. I mean, it is up to you how you want to make it more interactive. And so in that pitch document, you will be more clear, not like the one I showed you. It has to be a framework. You have to mention what plastic wastage data that you are collecting, what are the sources, where it is getting. I mean, all the details that you are expert, the kind of plastics, and if there is any other bifurcation, if there is any other data related to UK government and so on and so forth. So it has to be a pitch document. A document should not be more than 5 to 7 pages. Just as, or if it's a video, it has to be within 10 minutes max. Uh, just as a reference point, so that it becomes easy for people to consume and to understand what exactly you're trying to pitch them. And then you find the consultancy services that need. So you find people like Bob who might be running this consultancy, and try to reach out and try to find out that you would be requiring providing these services. There could be objection like there might be some secret of the kind of data they are collecting. So they may say that we only collect specific data, and so we don't want to disclose our framework or things of those area. uh, so you can mention, if you are there, that you could create data points which is more than it collects everything, or it has a bigger scope, and then you can sell the whole universe data to the customer. I mean, I will come back to you why it won't be counterproductive for you to collect that universal data. Then you send a request to them via email or LinkedIn, and with the pitch document or the video that you have. Then you get on a call, something like a Zoom call or a Skype call, and you pitch your 40-hour job. So 40-hour job is basically in 40 hours, you will do this, and uh, this is the outcome that you will get. And then you close the deal and start your work. So this will be the approach, a standard approach for reaching. So it will be much more similar to how you currently look for your sustainability job interviews per se. But in this, you are not selling yourself too much uh, for looking for a job. Actually you are, but in when it comes to getting weekly projects, it would be more challenging, and there will be more resistance because of many doubts or questions that the client like Bob may have. So this is the two thing, the 5 step of work that you need, and then how you can reach out for companies for your work. Now, there was a good point raised by Jonathan. It's a friend of mine. He raised a point during that the on the basis of outcome. The word outcome means different thing for different people, and in a way he was right, because say for example, if with the use of data that you give Bob, then if the investor makes 20% more return or 5% more return, and that's an outcome of the work that you do. But for this particular 40-hour job experiment, I'm not stretching till that point, because most of you might be doing it for the first time, and definitely this is not for everyone out there. This is more from a person who is a self starter and who can reach out to people and work on objectives with definite results. And so from that point of view, that could be an outcome. But what I'm pitching to you guys is, if you have a measurable result, then the value of the outcome would be the result that you deliver. And the reason also I've used the word outcome is more from a rhyme of the 5 step process that you must have seen. So the second last process is deliver your outcome, and the fifth process was get your income. So it was a play with an outcome and an income. So definitely I'm more talking about a result point of view. And which actually brings me, if someone pays you $2,500 for collecting 50 companies. I mean, that's a big question mark. And the value innovation that I of course picked up from the Blue Ocean Strategy book, which says that the cost saving that is made by eliminating and reducing the factor an industry competes with, and the buyer value is lifted or raised by creating the industry has never offered. So you are offering something different, and that has never been offered before as a package, and you are also reducing the cost, or may mostly saving income money for the company's point of view. I will set few example in the next slide to make it more clear what I meant, how you are saving cost for the companies. But still there are other unaddressed question. But the point that I want to make is you have to create a value. You have to use this as a framework and see what what could be those data point that is those are only be found by you because of your skill set, and the the consulting company might find it advantageous. So that is where I would like you to think on, and as this is an experiment, we are working together to find ways to move forward during this challenging time. And Jonathan also runs a great collaborative webinar. You must check him on LinkedIn and see his work. He's a social entrepreneur on social entrepreneur, and he's working during this COVID time, how social entrepreneur can move forward and work together. Uh, so, the, so now, as I mentioned, value. Let's bring about the big point of is $2,500 worth the data that you collect. Uh, Now it's up. I will leave it to you to discover that. But the value, how to view a value, I have three examples that to show you and to explain you how for someone to pay that amount could be more beneficial than not to pay. For example, 37 Express is a product that Jason Fred has explained. He has been working, he's been in tech industry for more than 20 years, I guess. And all my examples are from tech world, software, IT world, because I come from that world. So in this 37 experience, what he does it, when he was a designer back in 2003, 2004, when the design works used to come, he used to work for big companies. So he used to get project where a company might approach him and say that I want to redesign the whole website, and it would be a big project like 60K to 100K project. Now, and it also required a lot of time, efforts, and people to work with, and to run that business was pretty difficult. But what Jason discovered, because he has been expert in doing this, is the website sometimes doesn't need, or most of the time doesn't need, a complete revamp. For example, what he mentioned in an example is in any website which is an online it's an online shop or some kind of online shopping experience. The most one of the most important is the checkout uh, page, where people check out and do the billing, and then they purchase the product from your website. So he has found that most of the time the checkout page is broken. So what he gave as an value, like a 37 Express, where we will not design the whole website, but in 2,500, in a week's time, we will redesign your checkout page. And because of that, your sale will go up. So if suppose they are making 5,000 a month or 10,000 a month, or maybe more, but because of fixing the checkout page, that can be 20,000 a month or 30,000 a month. So even giving 2,500 for the company, the redesign is much more valuable. So I know this is more on an outcome base, where Jonathan mentioned, but you have to figure out your internal business need, where you can find this value based, and you can justify the amount that you charge. Now, what happens with JSON is, if they have a good experience, they come back with redesigning another page, and so on and so forth. So the whole redesign might have cost too much of money and this to the company. So the company saves on the complete redesign, and also they make money because they fix the checkout. That's a good example that I found, that can find value that can be delivered in 5 days. The other one was is an example by Michael, and he runs a company called as he used to run a company called as Unleash Technology. He sold that company, but he introduced a concept of dosages. So what his idea, which is more relevant to the example that I'm trying to share, the ESG researcher, is he for high end. So he also has a web development or a software development business. But what he did was, for all the high end developers or high end project managers, he created a growth plan which has dosage. So what you can purchase is an X number of hour per month as a dosage. So there was fixed amount of monthly that you can take, but you have to take the dosage for whole 6 month or 1 year, and you can use that many hours of that particular a person or a talent. And if you don't take it, you have to pay, even pay. So how, why would company do that? I mean, that is something, I mean, that's, first of all, uh, it was for a little bit of extremely skilled professional, and still you're charging, and you can only take a dosage. So if for example you might end up needing more, so you take up more dosage for rest of the year. So that equation was very high in terms of monthly dosage. I don't know exactly for how much he sold that dosage, but I could guess that it would be anywhere from range of 3,500 to 5,000. It's my guess, because if you hire a full-time employee of that person, in the annual fee could be anywhere from 90,000 for a very experienced software developer, to 1,000, 1 lakh, 150,000 for an creative designer and things. So it was pretty much high. So my guess is, if it was a monthly dosage, so it could be anywhere from 5,000 to 10,000 to 15,000 as well. But so now when you know that you don't have to hire the person full time, or but you can take it on a dosage basis, still if you don't use it, it will cost you much less than hiring them full time. That's pretty much my understanding. And also, you don't have to take it for the whole, I think, whole year. I mean, you could take for certain month, and then you might have some sign off. But just trying to understand, the trying to put a point that you could measure that. I mean, and not to mention the other overhead costs that companies might save, the hiring cost that involves electricity, laptops, and those additional costs that you need to take care. So all those costs are also saved. And it is also not person dependent also, maybe, because you take a placeholder of that dosage, that role might be replaced by somebody else, and still, so the risk of it works more like an insurance for the company. So but I think this is where it is. So my point is, if for the ESG research that you meant for someone you gave, so if you can complete 4 weeks work or 3 weeks work in a week time, then I guess the consulting will still find benefit of giving you $2,500. If you're still not convinced, I have other ways. I mean, in the future slide, I have another way to think about the problem. Yeah, but that's pretty much my thing. But the whole idea is to, in the framework, is to create something of a value that gives you that much income. And the reason is that that income will help you move forward in these challenging times in the coming months, so that while you are searching your job, you can still sustain your lifestyle and you can keep doing this project. The third one is not a particularly a good example, but a variation of it. It is called as a design sprint by Google Venture. So Google Venture has a 5-day uh, step or a process called as design sprint, wherein within 5 days they create a prototype and help you decide from a business point of view, uh, where you can what the product could do or couldn't do. So that's why the company save months and months of time and resource, because they can discover something quickly. They can put it in, put a very low fidelity or a prototype or something in front of customer, where the customer gives the feedback, which is very valuable for any tech startup specifically. And there are steps and processes that it happens. Now the reason I picked up this, because I did some Google search about this, and I found that companies are helping other companies to run this workshop. So it's a process. I mean, any training or a workshop, 5 days workshop, you have seen that, where you can coach them, give templates to them, and help the team work on them their own. In this particular case, for all the design sprint, people are charging anywhere from $7,000 to $15,000. So I just wanted to bring off what are the different businesses that are, or different individual consultant are thinking from a value point of view. So in the first one, definitely it is more on outcome based, and you focus on the key pain areas and you fix that and you charge them good. The second is where you consider of not having anyone for the full 4 weeks, but and you don't need it for them for the 4 weeks. You can do that work in 1 week's time, and or sometimes they are so skilled that their 1 week's work is enough for your consulting company. So you have to figure out that skill gap match. The third one is completely a concept. This is more like a design thinking concept or a system thinking concept that the team doesn't know, and you come as an expert, coach or train the team, maybe a 8-member team, 10-member team. In that case, that workshop you can charge 2,500 if there are measurable outcome or measurable result, at least, that you can produce at the end of the day. So that was just wanted to emphasize on the value. So it can be created in multiple different way you can think of. Still there is two primary objections that you can come up with. One is, you say that I can't charge $50 per company. Yeah, I mean, that is something you might have to work out if someone is ready to pay for $50 per company. And then you can also say that I can't do 50 companies per day. I know that the data collection part can be very tedious sometimes. I have never done an ESG research kind of work, so I exactly don't know how much you can do in a week's time. But for the calculation purpose, I did the reverse calculation, that if I need $2,500 per month, how many companies I need to do, and how much per company I can charge. So this is what I did, a simple math. But the value, if that is there or not, is something that you have to try yourself, and you have to discover that yourself. Let's say that you cannot do a 50 you cannot charge $50 per company. How about charging $10 per company? In that case, you only make 500 dollars for one project. Now if that is the case, then you say, Vikram, then it is not viable, that's too much of time and the income is not matching. Yeah, I agree with you completely, and that's not what we want. But what if the data is so generic? If you remember, I asked you to give the whole universe, that it is so generic, or you created so good, high rich quality data and accessible, and good reference, that you can find 7 more different bobs and sell them the same data. I mean, you already know that companies are doing that. But this is for a small consultancy or small investors, so this can be something that they don't have an access to it. So you provide a mid-market segment to someone. So in that case, you do the work for a week. You charge your first client $500, and then, oh sorry, you don't even need 7 more clients, you only need 4 more clients, and then you match your 2500. Might have to work, add a couple of weeks work more to find those clients and pitch. So that's might be, I think 7 is good, so that it covers for maybe 7,000 to $8,000, and you can do the math. So that could be also a way to find this uh, the weekly fee that you want. And again, I am emphasizing, this is not like your full-time job. This is that you're finding a way to get one time or maybe 2 time gigs, and finding project so that you can sustain during your uh, job search. This job search could be a longer. I mean, I have met, talked to people who have been searching job for last 3 months or more in some cases. So it has been a long search, and we don't know how longer it will be. So just finding a stopgap solution for you to sustain your lifestyle during this search, and not ending up taking some other jobs or non-sustainability job or any kind of job during this crisis. And this is not for everyone, and this is only for those who can afford it, those who are currently able to sustain their lifestyle. And I'm sorry, I mean, I this is still an experiment, and you need to figure out if it still holds some value or not. There are three basic questions that Sonam has asked me in my previous video. I would like to address them because I want to make it more clear uh, about some topics. So, firstly, I'm before answering this question, I'm not providing you a job, or I'm not running this whole workshop. I am just giving you the blueprint. I am willing to discuss with you on the other sessions if you want, and maybe dig deeper into it, so that anyone who has this information, who watches this video, can do everything on their own, and they can stick to the framework, or they can innovate or add value, put value innovations, and find a way to uh, make get some projects. So that's pretty much. So my role is mostly from a guide. This is not my full-time job. We at 73bit has a benchmarking software that's completely different. It's used for data collection, analysis, and reporting. This is where this is our way of giving back to the community and helping people during this time of job search. So the first question that she asked is, how is one supposed to know what exactly the company needs? This is a very good question. I mean, this is for people who have more than 3 to 5 years of experience. So they certainly know what companies are need during this time. And in this particular case, when we have an example of ESG, they need data of companies' data to do ESG research for investors. If that need is there, then someone has to fulfill it. If it is not already be getting fulfilled, and even though if it is completely wrong, you can reach out to company people and share maybe this video, or share the concept of data or some other concept that you know, and check with them if they have a need of similar requirement. The whole thing is that if you create a proper pitch document addressing only one particular topic and giving one benefit with exact result, it will be very clear for them to understand if they have a need on it. So you might need to do some search, and if you don't know where to search, talk to people on LinkedIn and see if some helpful person is there to guide you during this. And you can also tell the backstory that because of this current crisis, you are trying to find a week's project so that you can sustain till you get the final job. So this, you can tell this is your temporary solution. So you don't have to go full time in it. And I think people are considerate during this time, and they will at least help you with some guidance, or 15 minutes or 10 minutes of a call. The second question she asked is, how will you get the resource to work on the project? So I'm not running a project, so I will not get the resource to run the project. So the project that you will pick, you have to have all the tools and the skills and the knowledge and the time that you have to put in order to produce something. It will be completely a consulting based project, so that you can work from anywhere in the world, and also you can produce at the end of the day the soft copy, the data, the IP or the knowledge from which the companies can benefit. So it is for this is more about empowering individual to run their own consulting project and then work with it. So I am not getting any project. I am not running these projects, or I don't find exactly where will be the requirement, fulfill that requirement. No, you have to go and search for it. You have to find people who want it, and you. This is the framework that you can use, or you can modify it. But I think this is pretty much an idea of put something in a 5 days bracket, charge them at the end of the Friday, 5 day, and get paid to the what you have worked. So that's pretty much the idea that I want to come. How will you be able to connect with partners and clients? So again, I mentioned that you can do Google search, or you can connect via them via LinkedIn. You can join groups and ask this question. The whole thing is, if you come up with a very good pitch, a good video, a video like this only, where you don't just record your screencast with a nice presentation and explain your data points, or for ESG research what kind of data you're collecting, and pick a niche, pick very specific need, do some research of the companies that would match it best. If you have done some work like this in the past, just repeat it for different audience of different companies, and suggest them with the idea, the reason, the values, or the benefit that they can get. So if you have a good pitch, a good video, or a good document, then connect to the clients or partner who should not be a challenge. It will be difficult, it won't be easy, but it is not, it is been done by many people around the world. So that would be my advice. Yeah. So if you have any questions, you can email me to vikram at the rate 73bit.com, and I would be more than happy to address it. Uh, in this video, I have tried to address most of the questions, and if not all, but just to give you a quick recap, uh, the idea of this session is to come up with a 5 day plan where you deliver a result or an outcome, and you get paid for that 5 days. And that 5 days, create, think of or do some work whose value has to be more than $2,500 to 3,000, to create enough time for you to continue your job search, so that you are not busy with this for the whole month, and you can do it as a part-time temporary basis to keep your current lifestyle, and also learn the skills and do your work uh, while the job search that you are currently into. One of the others, I think actually there are two side note that I would like to mention here. If you are still watching, thank you very much. But this two side note is something that you can think of. The first one is, consider creating such a good uh, pitch that if there is someone interested, and if they are hesitating to pay you, do it free of cost, because anyways you don't have a job, but this will give you an experience, and there could be a possibility that the quality of work that you deliver will be so good that you will be end up as a consultant or a contractor to that client on a temporary basis, or maybe a permanent employee as well. So there is a option of a free job also, and because you have think uh, through each step and answered every question during the process, and you are also worked with them, that gives you a big leg up into a competition of the job market that you may have. That's my first side note. The second side note, I think people are not taking advantage of LinkedIn as much they should be. As a second side note, what I would also recommend is, while working, all the struggles that you have or during to find a gig, or the method in which you have developed your framework or a pitch deck, you create different kind of content or the learnings, I would say, during your journey, and keep posting it on LinkedIn, if better twice a day or at least once a day, so that even if by the end of, maybe if you try to give another 20 days to this experiment, by the end of 20 days you might not end up getting the project, but there will be at least 40 different content or learnings that you must have posted in the form of video, a PDF presentation, or some kind of insight that you found while looking for a data, as an example of the kind of data that you will put, the way to represent data, some visualization or negotiation skill, or some guidance that you require, so that you post those content on LinkedIn and make your LinkedIn profile a rich profile. And let the network effect or the second order effect that could help you. I mean, I'm doing this out of as as my contribution to the community of the sustainability community, to throw out this outrageous ideas and see if people resonate with it, people see value from it. And for me, even though there is no direct business outcome for my business for 73bit, but I believe there will be a second order effect of some of you in the future, maybe ending up in a job where you might need our product of 73bit, and you remember me or our company. So that's very long play that I'm trying to do here. That is just my only kind of it's not an even expectation, that is kind of possibility. The everything else is completely as a give back to the community. I mean, that is just a reason or a possibility to keep my business partner, or justify myself that this is a part of business, even though there is no direct income from what I'm presenting out. But I think it's a responsibility for everyone in the community to help each other as much as we can, and at least try to help create possibilities. And there are enough businesses out there who have tried this packaging or a productizing a concept. And I'm not talking something completely out of mind, out of the way. Yes, it will be a difficult time, but already you are in a difficult journey, so this might give you some boost, or it will help you sustain towards your journey. Thank you very much. It has been a long 45-minute video till now, and I've been very happy for that you have watched till now. Please hit me out at vikram at the rate 73bit.com, or if you are seeing it on LinkedIn or YouTube, please put it in the comment below. Tell me what you think. Uh, call out what are the gaps in this whole framework. Ask difficult questions. Let's try to find answers together. Uh, have a great day. See you next time. Bye bye.